Good evening. It's December 30th, 2014. Notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk, please conduct the prayer and flag salute.
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the event of emergency, the proper method for exiting the council chambers through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase out the front door and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided in the front of the room. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must take a phone call, please leave the council chambers to do so. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Colbus.
He's excused.
Mr. Byer.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Armstead.
Here.
Cosby Hurling.
Here.
Sadowski.
Here.
Medichenko.
Here.
Yamakaitis.
Here.
Medina.
Here.
Kaczynski.
Absent.
Mr. Moore.
Here. We're going to move into an ordinance that was tabled back on December 16th, 2014 at a council meeting. I'd like to ask for a motion to remove ordinance 58-73 from the table.
Council President, make a motion to remove ordinance 58-53 from the table and ask for a second.
Second.
I second that.
Mr. Medina.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
No.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Medichenko.
No.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. The public hearing on 5873 was already held. I ask for a motion on the ordinance.
Council President, make a motion for ordinance 58-73 and ask for a second.
Second.
1 second. Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
No.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Medichenko.
No.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
No.
Moore.
No.
Mr. Moore. Motion is approved.
Ordinance is on hearing. This is the date and time established for a public hearing on ordinance on hearing. Ordinance 5876.
1 second, sir. Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $80,000 for the acquisition of an undedicated road adjacent to and abutting the properties identified on the tax maps as blocks 587, lots 19, 20, and 21 for the public use for the city of Linden, and authorizing the issuance of $76,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the appropriation.
Mr. Clerk, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Have we received any written communication?
No, sir.
Does anybody in the chambers wish to be heard on the ordinance? Seeing none, I ask for a motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President, I move the hearing be closed and the ordinance adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Medichenko.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
5877, please.
An ordinance of the City of Linden adopting a supplemental redevelopment plan for a social justice complex within the St. George's Avenue redevelopment area, Phase 2, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-7.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Does anyone in the audience wish to be heard on the ordinance? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the hearing be closed and ordinance 5877 be adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
5878, please.
An ordinance of the City of Linden authorizing the acquisition for public use of a temporary and permanent easement on, over, and across a portion of the real property identified on the tax maps as Blocks 587, Lot 21, for the construction, public use, and maintenance of a vehicular and pedestrian bridge and raised roadway.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Does anyone in the chambers wish to be heard on the ordinance? I have a motion, please.
Mr. President, I move that the hearing be closed and ordinance 5878 be adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. 5879.
Ordinance of the City of Linden authorizing the acquisition for public use of a permanent easement on, over, and across a portion of the real property identified on the tax maps as Blocks 587, Lot 21, for the improvement, public use, and maintenance of a portion of Griselli Road.
Mr. Clerk, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Does anyone in chambers wish to be heard on the ordinance? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the hearing be closed and ordinance 5879 be adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. And 5880, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning as follows. Revised 31-20.26A1, clothing donation bins, general requirements.
Thank you. Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Does anyone wish to be heard on the ordinance? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 58-80 and close the hearing. He seek a second?
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Prior to moving into the committee reports, I'm going to ask Mr. Medina to read the personnel report. On behalf of the entire council, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. Mr. Medina?
Yes, thank you.
You have a personnel report for us?
Yes, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I do have a personnel report, and I'll try to be brief. Number one, in the Department of Public Property and Community Services, the approval of an intergovernmental transfer of Damian Johnson with the Bureau of Roselle pursuant to NJAC 4A:4-7 1A, effective January 20th, 2015. Number two, in the Board of Health, the carryover of 6 vacation days for Nancy Coblis to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. Number three, in the Board of Health, the carryover of 5 vacation days for Sandra Durar to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. Number four, the approval of FMLA leave for the following personnel. Employee 160 intermittent FMLA leave from 12/8/14 through 3/31/15, and the approval of donated days to said employee pursuant to the city's policy. Employee 107-216, unpaid FMLA leave from 11/24/14 through February 11th, 2014. Number 5, in the Police Department, the appointment of the following 6 per diem public safety telecommunicator operators effective December 30th, 2014, at the rate of $10 per hour on an as-needed basis, subject to the successful completion of background check and pre-employment exams. Kahita Hunt, Valerie Donofrio, Michael Shaback, Brittany Florio, Katarina Moscow, Monica Solarska. Number 6, in the office of the clerk, the carryover of 5 vacation days for Joseph Bodek to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. Number 7, in the office of the clerk, the carryover of 3 vacation days for Jennifer Honan to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. Number 8, in the construction office, the carryover of 9 vacation days for Marissa De Silva to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. And number 9, in the construction office, the carryover of 9 vacation days for Frank Godomsky to be utilized no later than March 31st, 2015. I make a motion for the approval of the personnel report and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling. Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. We'll move into resolutions 2014-66, 466 to 2014-473. Public comment will be permitted on specific resolutions to be removed from the consent approval. Please read the synopsis of the resolution, which has been prepared by the city clerk's office. Each is informative and self-explanatory. However, if you wish to address a specific resolution, the council will entertain questions on it. Does anybody in chamber wish to remove any resolutions 466 through 473?
473 isn't on there. Let me tell him what it is. Okay.
We have 473, the clerk will read.
473 was a late addition to the agenda this evening. It's authorizing the execution of a settlement agreement between the City of Linden and the Union County Improvement Authority for the Southwood Avenue redevelopment area in the amount of $450,000.
On my right. Pat Hero? 466, 467, 473. Thank you. In the center, please. On my left. Ask for a motion on the remainder, please.
Yes, Mr. President. Ask for approval of resolutions 2014-466 to 473, with the exception of 466, 467, and 473. And ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling. Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Pat Hero on 466, please.
Pat Hero, Wheat Chief Road. Yeah, I have a question. Why are we designating this an area in need of redevelopment, the old firehouse number 1?
Mr. Mayor, can you help us on that?
We own the old firehouse number 1, the city of Linden, and talking with the developer, Capadagli Builders, he's building, as you see, the apartment complex on one side of Southwood Avenue, and he's going to shortly start building on the opposite side of Southwood Avenue, and he may need that piece of property as an option to purchase for parking when he starts building the apartments on the other side of the street. That doesn't mean that he's going to get it. That just gives him the option to ask the city of Linden on the redevelopment plan if we could consider him. So that's all we're doing right now, putting that firehouse onto the Southwood Avenue redevelopment plan for the option of Capadagli Builders to be able to have parking for the other side of the street when he starts building that building there also.
Just where the firehouse is?
We own the firehouse, and that's where it is, yes.
So why do we have to declare it? Why can't he just purchase it from the city?
Because we're going to give him the first option to do that, since it's impacting his property. We don't want to deal with other developers that may not purchase, that want to purchase that property. We would like to deal with him so that it could be conducive to having the parking for his property.
Okay, thank you on that.
Thank you. Motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President, ask for approval of Resolution 2014-466 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling? Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Pat, here on 467, please.
What is Morris Realty Associates? Are they affiliated with Jack Morris?
Mr. Hudak?
Yes, that's parcel C, that's the warehouse development over in the airport.
Thank you, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I ask for approval of Resolution 2014-467 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling? Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. And on 473, Pat Hero?
This involves, of course, as Mr. Bodek said, the execution of a settlement agreement between the City of Linden and the Union County Improvement Authority for the Southwood redevelopment area. And now we are paying the UCIA, which is another government entity, $450,000 in full and final settlement of all costs incurred by the UCIA on the city's behalf in the Southwood redevelopment area. Now, apparently, they incurred such costs in excess of funds allocated by the city for that purpose. And of course, I guess we figure it's a good idea to execute the settlement agreement. What would have been an even better idea was not to get involved in this development in the first place. Because when you consider all the property taxes lost by the city for this development, when you consider how often I've stood up here and considering the time I've lost in talking about this, when you consider all the economics that went involved in this that we're probably the taxpayers are never going to get back, this is precisely why the government doesn't belong in the redevelopment business, and why hopefully the council will have come to their senses and realize that after the 10 years I've been getting up here and talking about this. Because all it is a money pit, and the taxpayers aren't benefiting. Yes, I know this is supposed to be the spark that will light the explosion on Wood Avenue, but we have yet to see that. And as I said, it would have been done anyway if it was beneficial to the city. Developers could come in and buy up the property on their own without getting the city involved in it. And it would have saved the city's taxpayers a lot of money. A lot of lawyer time would have been saved also. And that is why I'm very, very frustrated at this, because we're continuing after, I believe it's now going on 13 years. Next year it's going to be 14 years that this has been continuing with the Southwood Avenue redevelopment project. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President, ask for approval of Resolution 2014-473 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask you if you would go down to the podium and present the resolution of 472, honoring the service of the police officer and protecting members of the public.
Could the officers in the audience step up also, please? This is going to be my last official act as the mayor of the city of Linden, and I couldn't be more honored to present this resolution to the chief of police and all the Linden police officers that serve us every day in the city of Linden. As everybody knows, recent events have been creating a hostile environment for police officers throughout our nation. And I think it's important that we all recognize the service that the police officers do to protect us day in and day out. And it's also important that as mayor and council persons in this city, that we show our appreciation to the men in blue.
And women.
And women, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Men in blue and women who are out there every day. Because without them, there would be chaos throughout our nation. So in recognition of their support, we have a resolution by governing body and the mayor. But I'd just like to say one other thing. We cannot have this atmosphere of confrontation and demonizing our police officers. I could speak personally many years ago as a police officer in Linden in the early 70s when there was the Black Liberation Army and the Weathermen Underground, and I served during that time. So I know what it's like to put on a uniform normally, and then when you have hostile environment, to even go out further to protect the citizens. We had an individual by the name of James York. He was a Black Liberation Army member, and he served in Linden in a Black Liberation Army, and I had many dealings with him. And I'll tell you, I never saw more hate in an individual's eyes when he dealt with police officers. And as a matter of fact, he's serving time now for killing officers in New York City. So that's why it's so important we're here to show our support and appreciation for all the men in blue and women in blue that protect us every day. And again, it's my honor to present this resolution on behalf of the governing body and myself to the chief and all our officers. And I'd like to read it. Whereas the Linden police officers have taken an oath to protect and serve the residents of this city and state and risk their lives daily adhering to this oath and keeping Linden safe. And whereas Linden police officers face challenges every day, testing their judgment and commitment, yet they continue to conduct themselves according to the high standards expected of them. Whereas Linden police officers have always performed their duties with the utmost professionalism, even when at times being forced to make split-second decisions that have serious consequences on officers, victims, and the individuals they confront. Whereas Linden police officers also provide first aid in medical emergencies and motor vehicle accidents, locate runaway and missing children, assist domestic violence victims, and preserve the peace at disputes. Whereas Linden police officers and all police officers throughout this nation are the individual citizens call 24/7, 365 days a year when there's no one else that can help them. Whereas a civilized society cannot condone hateful rhetoric that demonizes our officers and instigates violence against them. Whereas the quality and sanctity of community life are cherished values worthy of safeguarding, and the mayor and council of the city of Linden wishes to warn the Linden police officers who are sworn to serve and protect such values, lauding particularly their unwavering courage and dedication in daily performance of their duties of protecting lives, defending civil liberties, and securing the safety of their fellow citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Linden offer their wholehearted support to the members of the Linden Police Department and all police officers in this nation as they continue to protect us from evil while balancing individual rights inherent in a free society. Be it further resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Linden wishes to praise and thank these committed public servants for their noble endeavors in unselfishly dedicating their lives to the preservation of order and the protection of others. Signed, Council President James Moore, Richard May J. Gerbunka, Mayor, City of Linden, and approved by every member of City Council. Again, Chief, it's a great honor to present you and your department with this resolution.
On behalf of the entire Linden Police Department, I would like to thank the mayor and the city council for making this gesture of support to the Linden Police Department. As you can imagine, this is a very difficult time to be a police officer in this country. Our officers face constant scrutiny, they're tested at every turn, and it's important that they know that they have the support of the governing body and all the citizens of Linden as they go about doing the job to the best of their ability. Once again, thank you very much.
And also, the governing body, to show their further support of the Linden police officers, will be having a banner in front of City Hall stating, "We support our police officers."
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilwoman Rashana Cosby Hurling.
I just want to thank Mayor Gerbunka for recognizing our women and men in blue and to extend my appreciation to them. And I look forward to working with them next year. That's it.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Right now, we'll move into comments from members of the public in attendance on city business. And I'll ask Pat Hero to come up, please.
Okay, just one moment to get my thing here. You know, tonight happens to be the 5th night of Kwanzaa. Now, I believe in, kind of curious, so I wanted to check out Kwanzaa for myself. And for the last 2 years, I, ironically enough, have been celebrating Kwanzaa because it's interesting. It falls between Christmas and New Year's. And tonight happens to be the 5th night of Kwanzaa, which is Nia. It's for purpose. And it says something, both the 5th and 6th nights of Kwanzaa have something that I think would benefit the mayor, the governing body, and probably all of us in the city of Linden. And so I'll just read that. It's to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Now, we like to restore Linden to greatness. We think we have a great city now, but we can always improve upon it. And I think that should be each in our goals, to improve ourselves and also to improve the community. That's what I plan to do in the coming year, and I hope you join me in that. And the second, tomorrow night, is Kumbha, creativity, to do always as much as we can, in the way we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than it was when we inherited it. I believe you can join me in that also, because we always want to leave a place better off because we were there. Mayor, Council President, you helped to make Linden better off because you were there. And I hope each of the council people will do that also. And I plan to say something more about it with the new people that are coming in, about what my theme is going to be. Actually, you might as well do it now. It's called Start with the End in Mind. And since we haven't reached January 1st yet, that could be something we all can do. We could see what would we like to have accomplished at the end of the year, and start January 1st with the end in mind. We know what the end will be. What steps do we need to take and get there? So I'd just like to put out that challenge to you, and I want to thank Angela Shelf-Medeiros for a book, A Kwanzaa Celebration, in which I got the principles from. And by the way, it's an excellent book. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. The following council meetings will be as follows. The reorganization meeting for 2015. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, January 6th at 6 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council meeting Tuesday, January 6th at 7 p.m. in the council conference chambers, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Minichinko.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes, good night.